welcome everyone to GPL 357 for another week. We're here at Latrobe. We're a few degrees short of a full circle. It has been another massive week this week. A record bounce back we have had. A bugler intimidation, we will talk a bit about that. And a Frenchman who we never realised was this good. We have a cracking panel here today. We have the two members of what could be the greatest rivalry in the Premiership themselves. On my right, we have KG, the new captain of the Back Nine Mafia.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks for coming, KG. And on my left, we have the spiritual communicator of Wally World, George Grossi.
Hey, Tony.
Hello, George. Thanks for coming, guys. What we'll do is we'll go through some reviews. We'll go out and search for some lost degrees, as always. We'll do some more reviews. We'll have a quick chat to the boys about the coming round. There is no 100 gamers, so we don't have to put anyone up in lights, and then finally we'll do the tips for the round 5 of the Premiership. So I'll start with the reviews straight up, guys, and I'm going to talk first of all about the Wanderers versus the Phoenix, and this was the greatest bounce back in GPL history. Last week the Wanderers on 138 had possibly their worst score ever, and they bounced by 50, 10 per player on 188, and the people that got hammered by this response was the Phoenix, who now with 3 losses in a row, well, they need to find something and find something fast. Who you got there, KJ?
Well, Tony, I've got the ferrets versus the sewer rats, the battle of the rodents.
Yes.
And there's still signs of life just for the ferrets, but the sewer rats were far too good. I'm building on last year's finals, and it was a 178 to 170 victory.
Yeah.
So sewer rats go from strength to strength.
Another good win from the Surrey. Who you got, George?
Well, I've got the Tridents, perennial high achiever in the GPL versus the newcomers, the Wolf Pack, and are against the Premiers. They were seeing how well they went, and unfortunately they came up short. The Tridents, with a reasonable score of 169 in the conditions, defeated the Wolf Pack 162, and they will see that as another opportunity lost, eh?
They will. They get their uniform tomorrow, and hopefully it works for them, because not much else is so far this season. I'll do one more. The Vultures versus the All-Night Chemists. The Vultures, sensational score again. 3 of the 4 weeks they've had the top score. They are flying, and I think they're ready to soar. Not since the 2012 season, since they topped the table have they looked this good, and they're producing round after round. And they played the All-Night Chemists, which were tinged in sadness following Ray Kelsey. And they are a good team now, and whilst they didn't win, they lost by 20. I have no doubt they're a good team now, and they'll respond again. So as we do each week, we'll head out and we go out onto the field of battle and search for these lost degrees, and it's amazing what you find out.
So we're just doing it nice and casually. If your 100th game, mate, yes. Taking a charity.
I am.
How are you playing?
Square at the moment. So.
Square, very handy, doing your job.
Yes.
The gummer's looking good. Do you reckon they'll lift for you?
I hope so.
They do need a lift. We're out here on the 7th tee, a couple of ferrets now, guys. Norton 3. Let's face it, something has to happen.
Well, we have got
how are we going?
We've got a Sir Rat with us.
I know, have a look at him.
Billy the Rat Fuller, and he's living up to the Rat's reputation.
Going well?
Scary, absolutely scary at the moment.
First 4 holes have been halved with birdies.
Wow,
that's
impressive.
Yeah, Billy's score
Billy's
is about...
had a 4.
Don't tell Simon Priest, but he's about 8 up at the moment, so look out. Ferrets are in trouble.
Here we are out on course, and who should we find? The man who was the reason Triple W what went wrong. Jeff Wong, how are you, big fella?
Good,
just come out to do some cheering on?
Yes, just to say hello to my old mate.
Magnificent. How are you playing?
I'm not playing much. Once a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to see you there, mate. Good stuff.
Good, Dad.
What do you think of all the new stuff?
Very good. I was just saying, yeah.
Very impressed.
I might just come back because of this.
Well, you should. We'd love to have you back. I need some bets against the Blues.
I'm glad Theo's not here.
So as that early putt slipped by, Corey Mansfield out early morning wandering, playing with the captain. How'd you go, big fella?
Not performing, unfortunately.
Not a morning player?
Not yet.
Russell Healy shaking hands early.
Oh, Yeah, they've won.
Because we've won.
Oh, well, that's no good.
Our
Thanks,
fellow
Well done, Wanderer.
wanderer
Thanks,
took us
partner.
apart in the first 8 holes.
Magnificent. As he kept it going, Captain.
Well, he was, after 10 holes, he was the same as he had last week.
Well, that's
In
handy.
points.
You got Dylan Grant, a big day for the Wood Ducks. You got
It
the
is.
new shirt on. We won't talk much about your fellow Ducks putting there.
No, that's okay. It's not Ducks weather today, but
It isn't actually. It's a beautiful day for it.
it is. It's a very nice day. Holty's just warming up. He's going to be fine. The new shirts, we look the part.
You
Just going
do.
to play the part now. And
Match the sky.
exactly. So the Buglers,
Oh,
they're a tough team
good.
to beat, but we're going to be on today. We'll be right.
Good.
Back us
All
in.
the best, mate.
Thank you.
See ya.
Yes, the Wood Ducks, they do look good in their outfits, but they were up against the Buglers in what they thought was a blockbuster, and it turned out to be a massively close match. The Wood Ducks on 172, they had their chances, there's no doubt, but they lost by the single point. The Buglers once again intimidating in their talent, and they do look undefeatable on 173. The Wood Ducks had their chances, but they just didn't, and they fall out of the 8 and would be worried. Who have you got there, KG?
Well, I had the big heavyweight blockbuster, the Tanners versus Wally World, and once again Wally World ended up winning. The score wasn't fantastic, but with 160 to 169, the fortunate Wally World have done it again.
One of those low-scoring blockbusters. How about you, Georgie?
Well, Wally World, we try and get the job done all the time, but I actually have the back nine Mafia, who did what they had to do against the Gunners, who, you know, their season's unravelling. Well, it's a big shock.
It is a shock. The Gunners, they're normally magnificent, but they've really struggled this year.
Second from the bottom, yet to win a game, and you know, came up short again against the back nine Mafia, 160 to 175. You know, I just sort of looked there. I think Shane's got a few things on his mind with the Pennant boys.
Well, he'll need to find something. The last review I've got is F Troop versus the Corruptibles, where F Troop are becoming a force. They are marching like all troops do. Top 4, this is new territory for them. They're undefeated and they look the goods. I'm sure they'll revisit the railway soon to just load up their season for the second half. And they played the Corruptibles, and the question needs to be asked, was Michael Prideaux this good? Because they were dominating the last 2 years, and they have not won a game since he's had to pull out. I am staggered at the difference this side has made without the Frenchman. But they'll be getting a new uniform too, I think. I reckon they should bring back the shirt. They need to find something. Well, guys, this Wally World versus the Mafia, it is a rivalry that you would think would sit in primetime TV on some current affairs show. Can I ask you, Georgie, Wally World's 7 grand final losses, you won the premiership and you seem to have gone from strength to strength. How are you feeling?
Well, we at Wally World, we respect our opponents, but we don't fear them. And we always try right to the end, get every point we can from the round. So I think that's been a strength of ours and part of the reason for our success over the years. We've come up short a couple of times, sometimes in controversial circumstances, but you know, eventually if you put yourself out there enough, you'll come up trumps, and we're looking forward to another good season.
I've no doubt. KG, you're in charge of a merged team, the old Brother W's and
That's right.
the Triple W. Your captaincy style, are you comfortable with it? How do you gel this team?
Oh, well, like I said to George, we're all inclusive at the Mafia now. We've our spiritual leader in Bruce Fairless, a previous Charles Latrobe winner.
2013.
He's the godfather of the team, and I have a quiet word to Bruce every now and then, and he sets me on the right target.
Does the Mafia envy the premiership success of Wally World?
No, we don't envy anyone. You know, we're happy to accommodate all teams. And we plan to have a big year this year, Tone.
I've no doubt. How do you overcome, Georgie, the loss of Connie Boglis?
Well, Cons had to step out this year, and I can't help thinking back to the first year, which I will not bring up.
Why not?
But
Again?
Expect him to be back next year, and contrary to rumours started by somebody else, he hasn't been in discussion with the back nine mafia about moving to them.
You lost Greg McLeod. He came to us this year.
There has been a move.
Well,
He's playing well too, Scrapper.
Yes, he's
you are joking. Scrapper, he scored 2 bloody times in our thing for us. But look, Scrapper's a competitive beast. I played with him a couple of times in there, and I'm sure he'll do well. But what he did decide to do was move aside so that Peter Higgins and Santo Palmieri could come back into the club or the team, and we are appreciative of that. And we recognise that Scrapper is now in the enemy, I suppose you would say. But
Come on, George, enough of this sugar. Who do you fear from the mafia the most this coming weekend?
well, we don't fear Anthony Curcio because he's taken the soft option and bolted, left the country because he was scared of us. Look, I look at the names here, and there's one name that stands out, and that's Gary Gardner. Now, he's an angry man, Gary. If he can channel his anger against Wally World in a positive way, there is no reason why Gary Gardner should not have 45 points. So he's the one that I'm scared the most of.
Well, on the flip side, who don't you fear from Wally World?
Well, there are plenty there that we don't fear. I just want to make mention Ian Carroll's start for us this year. It's been absolutely magnificent. He's had a couple of 40 points. Evan Gale is back on the board now with 39. We're looking for Rob Prosciutti to come good. I've warned him that if he doesn't improve, there will be a horse's head in his bed. But
does he have a big bed?
I don't know about that.
I'm pleased you don't.
But no, there are plenty. Sano can get on a roll when he's on his game. Peter Higgins, very consistent player. We know the boys very well. We do have a few jibes about it. We go upstairs and have lunch and a few drinks after our game. So there's always a little bit of needle in the game. So we're looking forward to this weekend. And most importantly, we did beat them last year.
I do remember that. Guys, give me your best on ground. George, who'll be best this week?
In terms of there, I do agree with KG for once in my life that Santo's on the cusp of there. But as I said, we respect this team. I don't think that's being reciprocated. But we will do our best, and if that's good enough, well and good. And finally, I don't know how the back nine Mafia could have beaten us last year because they weren't in existence.
There you go, all these technicalities, George.
Who's your best on ground? KG, who needs to play well to win?
Well, it's a difficult one. I really respect Jim Mitras. He can really light up some scores, so I'm fearful Jim might have a good day. For us, sorry, Tony.
It's a worry when you're picking the best on ground.
No, I won't do that. For us, I think Greg McLeod. He's ready to go.
Scrapper. Beautiful. It'll be a low-scoring match if Scrapper's scrapping 36 is best on ground, but we will see. Okay. Good luck, gentlemen. Shake hands. It is one of the great rivalries. Okay, that was always going to be difficult. So all we've got left now is the tips. So we'll start off the Tridents versus the Gummers. Gummers 0-4 against the Tridents 4-zip. It's hard to see how the Tridents won't win this. George?
Well, I just got a feeling the Gummers might get up here.
KJ?
I'm actually having to agree with George here, sadly. I think the Gummers have been hurt.
They have.
And I'll come back hard.
Wolfpack will be in their new uniform playing at the Surats.
If you have a look at the scores that they've got, they're almost identical. I might do an ox here and tip a draw.
Oh. KJ?
Surats, so just 6 on the ladder, and I think I'll head up again.
Ferrets versus the Phoenix. this could be the Ferrets' big chance. Both teams struggling early. I think the Phoenix might continue the Ferrets' doldrums.
Again, sadly, I think the Phoenix will get up here with Charles LaRoche there and all the boys that I know, with George Micheludis and Dirk. Yeah.
Tunners versus a Chemist. Chemists, I expect to respond. Tunners struggling a bit. I think the Chemists are really finding form. George?
Well, I guess it's been a bit disappointing by the Tunners. They've been a perennially strong team, but they seem to have fallen off the perch a bit. So I look there and I think that the all-night Chemists, after their tough week last week, are ready to do it for Ray, and I think they'll...
Wanderers versus the Corruptibles. Wanderers 188 last. It's hard to see them losing this. The Corruptibles, I can't see the Frenchmen returning. So Wanderers for me, KG.
And again, here.
George?
Well, I look there in the Corruptibles and I see the name Murray Cropley, and the Corruptibles are on the bottom, and Murray is the manager of the senior pennant. We're on the bottom as well. I think Murray's woes are going to continue, although
You're part of the senior pennant, aren't you?
That's right. So hopefully we can do it today for Latrobe. And
of course, Murray's never the manager's fault. Never the manager's fault.
That's your last game for the senior pennant.
Although I will say, Wally has told Murray that we're having the kind of season that get managers sacked. So Murray obviously is a bit worrying there, but oh look, there's no way you'd pick the Corruptibles, I'm afraid.
Vultures versus the Buglers. This isn't looking to be an absolute cracking match. The Vultures are just flying. The Buglers intimidating.
I'm going to go for the Buglers here.
Right team.
Yes, they got the Mansfield name there, and that's enough for me.
George?
Look, we've got a lot of respect for the Buglers. We've played them in a few grand finals, and I think they are one up on us. But look, a really tough team. Vultures up and down. I'm going the Buglers.
F-Troop versus Wood Ducks.
F-Troop, I think they've lost a game this year, Tone, so I think they'll continue their winning ways and take it over the Wood Ducks.
George?
Well, as I mentioned to you before, I think Paul Clohessy scored, for the F-Troop for the first time in about 8 years of playing for the team. So he's obviously hit form at the right time, and he's a guy that can go very, very big. So I think F-Troop are on the way up, and they'll certainly beat the Wood Ducks tomorrow.
And finally the big one, the big rivalry, the Back Nine Marquee versus Wally World. On the strength of the Scrapper curse, I think the moving of Scrapper to the Back Nine Marquee could end up being something that haunts Wally World for a long time. So Back Nine, they've just scored a few more points than you. I'm going to go Back Nine Marquee in an absolute classic battle. George?
Well, I respect your judgment. The boys will be out there to do our best. We expect to be in contention, and at the end of tomorrow, I expect that we will be on top, and KG once again will be in second place.
KG?
We're looking for a strong win tomorrow. We're looking for a percentage booster, and there's no doubt I'll get that free dinner off George.
Yes, we can see respect almost goes one way. So finally, thanks very much guys for coming, and we appreciate you sharing your thoughts. Don't forget, also round 6 is Jim Farley Memorial, where we'll be having our normal Anzac Day ceremony at noon. It'll be a great turnout, and it's 100 years since Fromelles in France, where Jim Farley fought. It was the worst day in the history of Australian military history. So please come along. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful ceremony. Don't forget, if you want to win this thing, you need to turn up and play well. This has been Latrobe GPL 357, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.